morning, folks. Welcome back to Coffee Time with Almeida. It is Thursday, May 14th, I think. Today's 14th. Today on the show, we have Kenny Semcken. We're going to bring him on in 1 second. Tomorrow, we have Karen Vieira coming to us all the way from Atlanta, Georgia. And then on Saturday, we're doing a special show with Brian Cass, musician, Berkeley professor, and can't wait to have him on Saturday. A little special show to make up for our technical difficulties on Monday. So anyways, let's see here. We're going to bring on Kenny Semcken. Kenny, what's happening?
Hey, Chris, good morning.
Good morning. How's it going?
We're doing well, thanks. Got the sun shining.
Another day
of gorgeous Plymouth weather.
I'm just checking out quick right here, see if it's looking good on the internets.
All right.
Jay Trenholm, good morning, buddy.
This is as good as I can look, so.
Oh, you're looking great, baby. So how's it going?
No complaints. It's been an interesting spring. We've had, without just jumping into the heavy stuff, obviously came on to talk about kind of some of the new stuff that's going on at Second Wind Brewing, and pick up with an old friend that I haven't had any of our late night discussions thanks to COVID-19. So it's a little odd doing this 12 hours earlier than usual.
I know. It's the daylight.
Neither one of us has evaporated, so I guess we're all right.
I mean, how often do I get to see in the daylight? Looks like you have a little suntan though.
Yeah, we've been working outside at the brewery. So the Howland Street location has a beer garden outside, and we've used some of this downtime to get projects done that we've been putting aside for the last 3 years. So one of them was beautifying the beer garden, which was glorified beer garden from, dumpster chic. We've got a dumpster out front, and then some garage or concrete space between two garages. So we've actually done a lot of concrete work and put up some posts and built a shroud around the dumpster, and soon we'll put up some string lights and some they're called sailcloths. So a little more for the aesthetic we were looking for. But yes, to answer your question, we've been catching a lot of these rays, and underneath this cap, there's not a lot of protection anymore to my scalp. So I've actually been getting some sunburn. But yeah, a little color.
See, I'm resorting to the hat today too, but yeah. I also don't have much to cover. I have a lot of beer. It's like I can fly away, dude. I know.
Yeah, you got to go for the. I'm on my second DIY cut. It's not. There's not much here to.
Oh yeah,
you can't help any of this. This is
good. Yeah, well, I got to do that. I got to go down.
That's nature's
number one.
Nature's contribution there, but
I spent some time
solid number 3 all over the head and face.
Oh, shit.
You're a much better quarantiner than I am.
Yeah, I have a giant backyard. I should be able to have my Portuguese tan going right now. So what's happening? So what's going on in the brewery? I know you guys can't do the bar in there, right? So
yeah. So as of effectively St. Patrick's Day, we became a package store. So we've been making some changes. This was a big year for us, moving from 1 brewery to 2 was one part of the plan. Also, filling out the schedule with beer gardens. We do our weekly beer garden at Bramhall's Country Store, so we were excited to be kicking that off again. We got a draft trailer for that, and then back here, we just upgraded our brew house from a 3.5 barrel to. So we've gone from making like 140 gallons at a time to twice that. So it actually helps our brew days now that we're doing twice the amount of work we were doing last year in one turn now. So that was to help move us into having more time to work on the second location as well as canning. So our big push for this year was getting into cans and COVID-19 launched us into that without. We have a canning line on order that would automate that process. It'll probably be here in 3 weeks. It's been a 10, 12-week lead time. But in the meantime, we've been thrust into canning anywhere between 70 and 100 cases of beer a week by hand for the last
So how
8
many?
weeks.
I want to know the number on that. Like how many cans of beer has Kenny personally touched?
I've looked at it. I've tried to figure it out because I could look back at the theoretical or the yields on each batch, but I was thinking about it from how many cans we've had to buy. And we buy them in pallets of 5,300 at a time. We've already gone through 3 pallets, so I know we're north of 10,000 cans by hand easily.
Yeah, that's a lot. I mean, that's a lot of cans.
Probably closing in on 18 or 19 on because we're on our 4th pallet.
Mm-hmm.
And bottles too. We just did a bottle release, so everything is highly manual. It's been a lot of long hours, specifically Hans and JR are my partners. For the first couple of weeks, Hans was doing 15, 20 cases a day by hand. Thankfully, we've got a assistant brewer who is helping with back of the house stuff, and then JR has been killing it on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, just cranking out like 15, 20 cases a day. So we're keeping up. It's obviously way more. It's a different way of working. It's more manually intensive, but it's great to see us, get a batch out in a day or two. We've had a number of sellout weekends where the response from the community has been overwhelming. So we've had Debt of Gratitude was a beer we put out. We can talk about that. Sour Pleasure is another series we just started. We have our usual lineup of fruited crazy IPAs like the Key Lime Pie and others that have just, we put them out for pre-order on Thursday and they're gone by Saturday. So it's been overwhelming response from the community. But one thing I'd mention if you're cutting me off the leash here was the Debt of Gratitude project, just because I'd use the opportunity just to thank those people who contributed to multi-brewery collaboration. Our friends at Widowmaker and Untold each produced a beer with us. We released them all on a same week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Was the With the Frontlines project, so it was double alliterative on the WTF references, and as a function of those beer releases, we were able to put $8,000 or more actually back into our local communities, and then the proceeds have been are headed for first responders. So just a thanks to anyone who's watching who jumped on Debt of Gratitude. That was the second win beer. We've been able to put a lot of money back into the community and also to recognize first responders and essential workers through this time.
That's awesome. So, hey, 2 things here. Mike Wisdom says good morning.
So, Mike?
Dana Peters says good morning. Got a bunch of people saying good morning, but can you hold on 1 second? Hang on a sec. Hey, can you mind taking that pot away from him? Yeah. Thank you.
Bet you didn't think you'd be saying that so young.
Okay, so Mark Pothier, do you know Mark Pothier?
Yeah.
He comes into the restaurant. You know Mark, I'm sure you do.
Yeah.
He says, Kenny, could you talk about the plans for the Main Street operation and what kind of food you are planning?
Sure. Cool. So Main Street is going to be a showcase of small batch beers. So we've got a cool opportunity down there to put in much larger tap room, which addresses some of the issues we've had up here. I'm sitting on Howland Street right now. So the plan right now is for a 52-seat tap room capacity of 77, I think, is on the final plans. It'll have large central focal point being the bar and keeping the brand aligned to its craft beer focus. So I know there's been some confusion as to, is it a restaurant? I mean, technically it is, but our focus is that it's craft brewery and tap room. So it's the old Bella Piazza down across the street from Kiskadee and T-Bones. Uh, Great space. We've done a ton of work to open it out to create that tap room space, but also it had a really huge kitchen that you would have never have known. Surprising how large it was. So we were able to take some of that space. We're using about 75% of the old kitchen to put in. We were approached. I should probably tell some of the backstory. So we were approached by our friends at Kogi, who were looking at some new opportunities, and they said, "Hey, the space is a little too large for what we want to do, but we think it'd be great for another tap room." And we had thought about, how are we going to pull off another brewery in such a small space, but it actually works out perfectly that it's got a huge basement underneath it. So we're going to brew in the basement, put in 9 fermenters, doing more experimental stuff because it'll be small batch. So up at Howland Street, we'll keep doing our 7-barrel production, can releases, and the more the wholesale hits that we do for restaurants and cans. But down there, we can get a little funky. We can make 3 barrels of different beers, try stuff out that might be a little wonky, and if it's a hit, we can scale it up, and if it's not, it's gone before we've got something else coming out right behind it. The food, the thought is just it's an extension of the beer garden scene. So we've got basically a food pop up, like it's an extension of a permanent food pop up. So Patty Cho and Pong, they're both over at Kogi right now. They're in charge of running the kitchen. We've done a couple of pop-ups at the brewery with Pong where he's tested out things like tater tot poutine and croquettes. We've done a lot of different simple, just things that pair well with beer. It's not going to be a formal sit-down restaurant. It's going to be grab and go during the day. You can come in, grab something, and it's a quick delivery system set up, and then grab a 4-pack and go, or you can sit down at the bar, grab a beer, place an order for food. But really, like I said, it's tap room first. The kitchen's really just a nice new facet, new element of the experience, but we really want to keep as much of the integrity of our brand and focus on the beer as possible. But with that, if I can just steal another 20 seconds, we will extend we are looking at some cooler opportunities to extend our brand lines for, since Mr. Wisdom is on the call, we have talked about potentially starting a community kombuchery. So we'll have the opportunity there, having a commercial kitchen to make, and under our own license, we could do probably both non-alcoholic and alcoholic kombuchas. But also we know there's between, Mike and one of our regulars, Jenna, Linda Davey, time well spent. She does a lot of, these are people we've reached out to for talking about that, we might also be able to have some community sourced kombuchas that we could have during the day, maybe some coffee, whatever, but it's open right now, but mainly just new tap room.
I'm making kombucha now too.
Oh, see, you can get in on it.
Yeah, let's do it. I'm down. So that's awesome. That's really cool. Could you tell us a little bit about what you're doing today with Speedwell and CBC?
Yeah, sure. So Hans and I started out when we started Second Wind. We had recognized, we liked making beer, had good feedback on what we were doing, but we needed more experience. We're both working in breweries and learning the industry. And one of the things we did, which really, really helped, now being in a customer service focused business ourselves, was work at Craft Beer Cellar in Plymouth. So Hans and I were among two of the first 6 or 7 employees at the store, and loved working there. So Tatum's 5th anniversary would have been back in March, and we had collaborated on a anniversary beer. So it was apropos. She gave us our first sales of beer were through her store. So we were happy to create a 5th anniversary beer specific to Craft Beer Cellar Plymouth. It's a fun beer. It's, we make a lot of lactose IPAs and fruited sours, and there's really no envelope we won't push in terms of flavor profiles, but at the end of the day, we love a good crisp Pilsner, nice lager. And we decided, given our years of working there and hearing all of the, oh, that brewery now sells to retail stores, and now they just make Shelfies. It's kind of a pejorative term in the industry that, once you've lost the wait in line and now you just sell beer to a store, like there's some sort of difference in the quality of that product. So we purposely named the beer Shelfie, and it's got some cool can art that represents the shelves at a craft beer cellar. And we'll launch that today. I think the store opens in about an hour and a half. Tatum's got the first 10 cases off the production. We're hoping that people will come out and support her. And there's kind of a multiple effect of that we're hoping people will catch on to also, that every dollar towards a 4-pack purchase will also go to the Plymouth One Fund. So we've mentioned we've done some work through with the Frontlines project, but also we've linked our homepage to the Plymouth One Fund. We think what the Chamber of Commerce and Mask for Meds are doing is great in terms of trying to raise some support for local Plymouth businesses. So every 4-pack gets a donation to the Plymouth One Fund, and since it's Thursday, you get your Speedwell Beer and Burger Thursday token with the purchase of a 4-pack. So
nice shirt.
Swing by craft beer cellar, grab a 4-pack of Shelfie, get the token, get an $8 burger and a side from Speedwell, and do a little good by donating to the One Fund. So it's a exciting Thursday for us.
That's awesome. So it sounds like you're staying very busy.
Yeah, it's between trying to keep all the plates spinning with the new brewery and running, full tilt here with the canning, and we'll always make time to give back, though. I mean, I can't plug it enough how supportive the greater community has been through this time for us. We have people who make us branded masks.
Oh my God, dude, I want one.
We have people have been dropping us off food. And that's customers and other businesses. So it's been a really great time to see people rally together. Definitely motivates us through the long days. I'm mentioned to you in the past. I have 2 full-time jobs as well as trying to balance my family. So big shout out to my wife Erin, she's doing amazing things, both at being an advocate through her law practice. She's also jumped on to the Partners in Health COVID tracing program. So she's actually helping the state through its tracing program, while also managing the homeschooling and rearing of 3 children under the age of eight and younger. So how she does it, I don't know. I wish I could give her more support, but as much as she gives me. But yeah, it's a trying time, but when you've got the support of incredible people behind you, everything's possible. So we just thank, from Second Wind, we just thank everybody for the ongoing show of support and love.
And you guys live right downtown too, right?
Yeah,
pretty much.
Yeah. It's we've got our spot on Clifton Street, a block away from the brewery, and where you and I have also have our backyard chickens. We are both chicken farmers, so
I didn't realize how many chickens you have right now.
5.
I just had babies.
Oh, congrats!
You want a rooster?
No. I already have one chicken that thinks it's definitely the alpha. That I've been conditioned. I was gonna say they've been conditioned, but it's clearly me who's been conditioned to. They will come out squawking when they need water. I've been amazed at how intelligent they are in terms of letting me know what they need. So apologies to my neighbors. The 6:30 we need water call is a bit gets me out of bed sometimes.
When I go to my back door, the chickens can see me and they come running.
Yeah, same. When I get in the truck to leave in the morning, they come flying towards the door.
And they are sick of chicken food. and just want people food.
Yeah.
They eat chicken food because, But I must say, a hungry chicken is an obedient chicken.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It is. I have to say, because I'm usually leaving the house like today. My day job, I had a work call that started at 6 a.m. So I snuck out at 5:30 while everyone was asleep. They came running at me. I gave them their water, and then I came to work. And like that until I get home tonight. Like that was my connection back to the homestead. So yeah, my chickens adore me, and that's what gets me through the morning. But I'll probably sneak out of here after our call, head home, and see the fam.
Are you getting a lot of eggs right now?
Not. I mean, there was a point where I was getting 6 or 7 a day. They're probably down to 4 or 5 right now. I don't know. They seem pretty temperamental. I mean, there was one point I remember we'd picked out well over a dozen. I don't know what it is. Like I try to keep them happy. I don't know what else to layer pellets and kids leftover breakfasts
and feed them a SCOBY.
Huh?
Yeah, they like that. I mean, they won't eat in front of you, but no. So I have one more question for you. Who's doing your art for your cans?
A gentleman by the name of Dave Mann. So when we were starting out with the branding, I was looking for help, and a friend of a friend recommended Dave. He had done some work. His portfolio is largely sports. He does a lot of like NHL All-Star Game and minor league baseball. He's got a really impressive portfolio. He works under another company called Sky Design Studios. And he was like, hey, I'd love to help you guys. It was just, like I said, it was he worked for my friend's girlfriend. It was like a third degree at best connection. And he was like, I'm in, I want to do it. And then they got a big project for, like, I think it was the NHL. He's like, if you want me to do this, you just have to hire me. So we hired SDS to do the initial brand design. And that included a scope of work that apparently ended like 2 years ago, and I never realized it. And he just continued to do the artwork for us for free. So Dave and I meet a couple times a week. And it's one of those things where, like, send him an idea. He gets it. Like the Aloha is one of our most popular beers. We put it out in cans for the first time on our anniversary last year for May 11th. He did the artwork the morning of May 10th, and Tom Frizzell printed the labels off his own personal printer the day we released it. So it's important that he and I have that connection, that I can send him a concept. He grasps it in the first cut, and I can never replace that. And so he likes the opportunity to do it just for beer and swag. Not having a contract in place means he has the flexibility to say no, but for us, it's a great arrangement. So we pay him in the products he produces.
No, that's awesome. Well, we're going to get going, I think. But do you have any last words for the folks out there?
I guess staying on the theme, where we're at today, it's confusion around what's going to happen with stay-at-home orders and businesses reopening. But keep in mind, behind all these businesses, there's people who are trying to figure out how to do well for their staffs, how to do well for their families, making difficult decisions. And the best thing we can do right now is continue to shop local. I'm not just saying that for my own business. I really mean that for the restaurants, the shops. We've got a great downtown that I'd love to see come out on the other side of this unscathed. And that's probably not a reality, but the best we can do right now is just continue to show support however we can, and think that through when we're buying the goods we buy and the things maybe we can get it more conveniently somewhere else, but that there's people at the other end of this who are trying to take care of people around them. So thanks for everyone's support to Second Wind. I'll always end on that note. But also, we love Plymouth, and the outpouring of support to us and other businesses just can't be matched. So love where we live. Our community matters to us, and thanks for giving us the platform today, Chris, to kind of shout that out.
Oh yeah, dude. Thank you so much for coming on. This is great to see you. I'm glad we got to talk. and I'm looking forward to Thursday burger night. I'm gonna see if I can get down there today.
All right.
So what do? I call up Speedwell and then I call up CBC separately.
Well, CBC, they're open for walk-in, so you can go in there and pick up the beer. They also do curbside, so you can have your order brought outside. And then I'm not sure if Speedwell does curbside. I'm sure with your status, you could get it. Probably you can get it home delivered.
I got to go in the building. I got to go in.
But I believe you do have to go in. They do have the bar is set out with the meals spread out, and there's it's clean and sanitized every day, and set up with very clear social distancing so that you can come in, pick up your food, kind of in a no touch right off the bar and go.
All right. Well, hey, I'm going to thank you so much for coming on today.
Yeah,
and,
my
I'm
pleasure.
going to roll the closing clip and have you hang on for 1 second, and I'll be
Sure.
right back. All right, cool.
All right.
Yeah, all right, folks. Thanks so much for tuning in to Coffee Time this morning. Be excited to see you guys back here and me back here on this computer video to the world and the internet here tomorrow with Karen Vieira. And now I'm going to leave you. I rolled this clip the other day. I'm going to roll it again. I haven't made another one. I think it's funny. Maybe no one else does. I don't know. But here we go. Farmer C. Hey there, folks. Farmer C coming at you. Here to answer all of your gardening questions. Today, our first question comes from Jason in New Bedford. Jason asks, now, there's a difference between a rooster and a hen. A rooster is the male, a hen is the female. Now, the interesting part about hens is that the eggs and the pee and the poop all come out of the same place. I have a diagram here for you. And you'll notice right here, we have the vent, otherwise known as the spot where the eggs come out. Also the spot where the pee and the poo comes out. There's this handy little contraption in there called the cloacia. Now, it's in vertebrates, it's common. It's a chamber and outlet in which the intestinal and urinary genital tracts open. A little flap in there. Stops the poop and the peep from getting on the eggs. Anyways, have any questions? Send me a message. Enjoy the day.
Coffee time with Almeida. Every weekday at 9. Won't you join me for a really fun time?